G'day, Groovers. It's a dark and cold night here in Hobart Town, and I've gone live in case anyone just wants to hang out, chat, whatever. Although it is school holidays here at the moment, so the traffic is nowhere near as bad as it is when it's not school holidays. Best time of the year for the working folk when it's school holidays. The traffic, I swear to God, reduces by 2/3. I got into town so quickly this morning, and my sister stayed last night, and she's actually moving to a place that's like 25 minutes further south than me. And we're talking about how, the commute can be a bit long at the moment because of the roadworks. And we both had the best and quickest and easiest trip in today. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Trust me, sissy, it's very different when it's not school holidays." But for real, they need to learn how to carpool and, I don't know, here's a novel idea: catch school buses. That would work. Uh-oh, what's going on with this rooster? Not a lot of movement. See if I can. Hey, play me, hello. There are so many signs in that car park that say, "Please pay at the parking station, not at the exit gate. We're going home, plummy. Hello, Francesca, how are you, gorgeous?" So it's good morning from the Netherlands and good evening from Tasmania. We had a cold old day today, only 9 degrees. Very cold. I'm rugged up in my beanie and stuff. And yeah, the traffic probably won't be that bad, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to read the screen to chat, but I had a really good day at work. I got a lot of work done, but a few pennies are just starting to drop now. With the new job, you have that massive learning curve and you're absorbing all this information and it can get a bit overwhelming. Today I had some light bulb moments. Hey, Serenity B. Oh, the dinner was amazing. I washed the windscreen. Well, I've got water in my wiper blades now too, now that I can pop my bonnet. I knew that car was going to jump over even though it didn't have its indicators on. I can read Tasmanian traffic. Don't you worry about that. All the reading glasses I've got on are terrible to drive in. I should swap them over. Oh, you've caught up, Plumy. And yeah, sad about Scotty. I'm not going to do any spoilers. But Serenity B, I actually made a film of making the spinach, egg and dill pie. And I must say, it is very much a weekend or day off thing to make. It's not a whip up when you get home from work thing. Not that it was like it took forever to make it, but it's a pretty fancy dish. But I did actually mention your suggestion to put spinach in it, and I saw that the other night and then, as usual, got sidetracked by something else in chat. But I'm editing up the video. Hopefully it'll go up in the next couple of days, depending on what my nights are like. But I do actually address your suggestion because although I love things like spanakopita that have spinach finely chopped in them, I didn't have the spinach. No, 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 no. For several reasons, but one is spinach when it's cooked for me is like slimy string that for some reason I choke on it. Spinach is a major choking hazard for me. I love fresh spinach in salads. I like it, like I said, in things like spanakopita when it's really, really finely chopped. But just chucking in baby spinach into something, it turns into like slimy string for me, and I choke on it. But the other thing is, this particular pie isn't a wet pie. Like the filling isn't wet. It's only got a third of a cup of cream in it. So adding something like spinach or any other vegetable would make the filling wet, which would then potentially fuck up the base of the pie, which was so crunchy and crispy and beautiful. Well, it wasn't my recipe. That's the other thing. Like, I was actually chatting to my sister about it last night. Like, I do okay on MasterChef in the follow the recipe challenges, but the memorize how to make things challenges, I'd be screwed. And I do cook a lot of things from scratch that I've personally been cooking for like 30 years, but I love cooking recipes. I like road testing recipes and sharing with people if they're good or not. Um, so the first time I make something, I always make it true to the recipe, unless I get like inside information, like my friend Andrew, who said, chuck an extra tin of tomatoes into the lentil soup I made the other night. And I'm so glad I did it because I had it for lunch today and so did my sister, and it's so, so good with lots of tomato in it. It's amazing. But no, I appreciated the suggestion, but I didn't address it at the time. But I meant to tell you, I'm like, I'll eat a bag of fresh spinach or baby spinach, like a bunch of spinach or a bag of baby spinach, uncooked. Love it. Love it. Like what I would have actually or could have done last night when we had the pie, I actually did some green beans because they're my favourite veggie and they're my sister's favourite veggie. Well, one of our favourites. But if I made that salmon and egg pie in summer, I'd serve it with a spinach salad. It's just one of those things like, there are people that don't like mushrooms once they're cooked. I'm like that with spinach. Unless it's in a spanakopita with cheese as well. But the pie worked out amazing and it was delicious. I'll try and read chat in a minute. It's a bit feral at the moment. Oh, I just saw the crunchy pasta. Oh, yeah, that's so yummy. The crunchy pappardelle. Oh, yum. I had a couple of leftover servings of that I actually froze. And I don't normally freeze things that have pasta or rice in them because I don't think they reheat very well. But I cranked up my wok and chucked in some olive oil and I let it defrost in the fridge. And then I chucked it in the wok and heated up the oil and I flash fried it and it was fucking amazing. It kind of gave the pasta a bit of crunch as well. But, often when you defrost pasta, it's just so sludgy that I think because the pappardelle is a bigger piece, like it's a bigger, I don't know what made it, like it's bigger than fettuccine, more surface area or something. But and also you don't really have as much pasta, I guess. But it was really good. Yeah, the soup was incredible. today. And when did I make that? I made that on Sunday night, and we ended up having like a 4-hour live that got very interesting. That live had a bit of drama. Then it had me talking about Chopper Read, and it ended with me using a little electrocution game on myself because that was smart and fun. That live was crazy. But on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen, hopefully by now, I cropped it out so it's just got the soup making part, and I got rid of the 3-hour live bit until I work out how to download those videos onto my phone to edit them. And Marie, where are you? Hi to everyone coming in. I can't read chat at the moment. I'm focusing on my safety. That live was batshit insane, Serenity B. It just was crazy. The electrocution machine was a hoot. And then someone, my friend Deb, who's like, oh shit, a real life friend, she said best live ever. I think she got into all of the drama and having the two Aussie dudes and Joey Wilson up on panel, and then Claire jumped up. It was pretty cool. I've got to do an all Australian panel one night because I did one last year. We tried to do we did Australians doing drama, and it was so lame. Like, we really tried to be dramatic. We ended up putting an American up on panel who sort of heckled us to try and get us all fired up and angry, and even she couldn't get us fired up. We're all just like chilling out together, hanging out. We couldn't do drama, so I should do another one. I'll do another Australians doing drama, possibly from Adelaide next week, because I'm there for a week, and I'm sure there'll be a night at my hotel that I want to have some fun and go live. Although I think next week is finals week from the MasterChef, so I'm not sure, but I'll keep you posted anyway. And it'll be an open panel, like every Aussie can get up, and not just Australians. Like, I want people from other countries to get up and try and get us all fired up, because we seriously just couldn't be bothered. It was Mustang Sally who jumped up, and she was calling us bitches and all kinds of stuff, and we were like just laughing. Hey, Gone Girl. Hi to anyone popping in at the moment. I love you too, gorgeous. I don't know how often I'm going to get to read the chat because it's not school. I mean, it's school holidays. So the traffic is nowhere near as bad as it is when it's not school holidays. The traffic light reduces by 2/3. It's incredible. I don't think it even took me an hour to get into work today, which was amazing. I think Ange and I left at my place at like 7:20, and I got out of my car at 8:10. It's pretty exciting. Celebrate the small victories, you know. But is Hobart as dark as YouTube? No. I mean, look how dark Hobart town is. Well, we're not in Hobart now, but look how dark it is. Now my windscreen's getting, from being cold, it's getting a bit foggy. You can actually see how the smear marks from when I cleaned the windscreen. I better put my defrosty thing on. So hopefully I'll get salmon pie up in the next day or so. I've edited about half of it, and it'll probably end up being like a 30-minute video, but hopefully it'll be funny. I'm trying to make it funny, and it'll be worth it too. It's a great pie. I'm having it for dinner actually with some more beans. You're making dinner, Francesca? Are you doing the pasta tonight? I'll do what everyone does when I'm on Messenger and people are messaging me and I'm like, I'll be with you in a minute, I'm doing the dishes. And they keep chatting and I keep drying my hands and typing a response. And then I start doing the dishes again. And then I have to dry my hands. I mean, most people would probably just do the dishes and go, I'll check Messenger later. But for me, if somebody I love pops up on Messenger, I want to chat with them then and there. You know, the dishes could wait, but for some reason I type a comment, then I'll wash the dishes, dry my hands, type a response. I go through like 3 tea towels to do the dishes because I'm constantly drying my hands. So for the channel, for the cooking, the next cooking I'm going to do, I still have to do the flash fried rice, the Japanese flash fried rice. Um, I think that's the next thing I'm making. But oh my God, guys, I had one of those carrot cake muffins today at work as well. I'd frozen it. I gave my sister one and just said, just zap it at work. So hers wasn't frozen, but I froze all the others last night. And then this morning I decided I wanted to take one to work as well. Um, so mine went in for like 2 minutes on low. My God, it was amazing. It went all fluffy and yummy again. I'm the dishwasher Serenity Bee. I don't have a dishwasher. I lived in a rental property that once it had a dishwasher, and I still did my dishes by hand, even there. Not the pasta tonight. What are you having then, Groover? I'm going to keep chatting, so you have to keep wiping your hands and comment. Yeah, I'm the dishwasher, and yes, I use me. My sister did some of the dishes last night, and it was such a luxury for me. She was exhausted. I felt bad. But just for a brief moment while she was doing the dishes, I was in heaven. I must admit, having a little break from that. But the other thing is too, Serenity Bee, I'm on tank water, so dishwashers are not always a good thing to have when you're on tank water. I'd rather do them by hand than take massive chunks out of my water tank of water. Like I don't want to buy water to be able to use a dishwasher. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll buy water to drink and have a shower, but I don't want to buy water so I can run a dishwasher. I love my kitchen stuff too, and I just think that a lot of what I cook with you can't put in a dishwasher anyway. Um, but like when I have a dinner party or lunches or stuff like that, there's always at least 2 people that jump up and start doing the dishes. I love doing the dishes in other people's houses too, so we get by. I think sometimes you have the best conversations in the kitchen while you're doing the dishes. My ex Jim and I used to have our most awkward conversations as a couple together while we did the dishes, and they were never awkward conversations. There's something about just being relaxed, and we just had a beautiful dinner. Ah, steak, chips, and salad. Can't get more Aussie than that, Dale. So yeah, I'll do the Japanese flash fried rice next, I think. Um, but that is 2 dishes in a row that have rice in them. But who cares? There's something else I've flagged to do. I can't remember what it is. I found another recipe the other day. And I'm like, oh, make that. But because I'm about to go to Adelaide for a week on Saturday, I'm not going to be. I may not actually make the Japanese rice till I come back. I might do some cooking from the hotel though. I quite like doing that. Cooking, like I deliberately get a little apartment with a kitchen so I could make my own meals. So I might do a little cooking live from Adelaide as well. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Francesca, and Serenity B's question's pretty valid too, because realistically, um, I could just get like a one drawer dishwasher. I'd probably have to use that twice a week. But then someone was telling me that when they were looking at drawer dishwashers, you don't use much less water with one drawer than you do with two. So, yeah, it's pub food. Yeah, so I'm not really, I don't really want to buy more food. And the other thing, my freezer is so full now. I actually said to my sister, please eat whatever you find in the freezer. Like, there's so much stuff. She loves my cooking. And I'm like, there's freezer surprises. There's little chicken and camembert pies. There's heaps of, like, there's that banana bread I made the other day. There's still heaps of that in the freezer. There's muffins, not just the ones I made the other day, but little mini ones I made when I was on a bit of a healthy. Like, there's so much food. And there's some of this, like the lentil soup that'll go in. There'll probably be a couple of slices of the salmon pie. So I said to her, please don't go nuts with food. Like, just open the freezer in the morning before you go to work, pull something out, defrost it, and have it when you get home. So I'm trying to use up all the fresh stuff in my crisper, all my veggies. But yeah, my freezer's so full that I'm going to have to start doing, like single serve meals if I cook, or like two serves, because there's no more room in my freezer to put any leftovers. It is like jam packed. And I've started cooking stuff from the freezer, but then I make things with it that then I need to freeze for, like, as leftovers. So Sandra Ruchek must have the biggest freezer in the world. I saw her making her tomato sauce, and she was like slapping these massive Ziploc bags full of her tomato sauce all on top of each other on this big cardboard sort of pallet box thing. That apparently then it all went packed like that into her freezer. It must be bloody gigantic. Oh, I lost a lot of people then. I went from having a happy little group of 7 to 2. That's okay. Yeah, just rest this week and live out of the freezer. Exactly. And I've said to Ange as well, like, just eat. Because it was so cute. I sent her off with a packed lunch today. So she had the curry lentil and coconut soup and a couple of those little white bread rolls that I had the other night. And I had the same in I've got these little Sistema lunch bag things. And then we each had a carrot cake muffin. Um, and she had the muffin like mid morning, and I got this message from her, and she's like, holy shit, Tora, I just had your muffin. Oh my God, it was so good. And then around lunchtime, I got another message for her, and she said, oh my fucking God, that soup is amazing, amazing, amazing. Give me the recipe now. And I said, we've actually got Yosha Moshalengi's book, Simple. It's in there. So she was pretty stoked. That soup is incredible, guys. Like, if you like having soup for lunch or dinner with all the yummy veggies and stuff, that soup is an absolute winner. It's so good. And it was just knock your socks off today. It was so yummy. So I've got a little bit left over that I'll take to lunch again for lunch again tomorrow, but the rest of it I'm going to freeze. It's bloody amazing. I like the cozy groups. I like my cozy group. Although the live the other night, because we had some contentious shit going down, I ended up getting like close to 20 people at one point. Word must spread, I reckon someone goes into a Discord and says, so and so's up on so and so's panel right now, and then they all come over. And if they're from a contentious community on YouTube, which I had no clue. I don't care who belongs to what group or community on YouTube, as long as they're good value on my channel. Stick around, guys. But yeah, hey Sticks, you're lurking, Groover. Good to see you. But I did think afterwards, like, I don't like people bashing other creators on my channel, and it did go that way a little bit, and I really should have nipped it in the bud at the time. I didn't even think about it till after the live. I was like, oh, fuck. I mean, I did say at that point, I was like, I don't know that channel, so I don't have an opinion. I haven't done my research, but I probably could have said, no, stop now. No, we don't. You've got your opinion, that's fine, but this ain't the place to express it. It's good to see you, Sticks, and Serenity B, and Francesca, and everybody else. Yeah, cozy groups are fun. But that live was pretty hilarious. It's so different too. I'd love to, when I do the Aussie panel, I'd love to get, and there are, anyone's welcome to jump up. Like, I want people from other countries to jump up as well, but it'd be great just to see how other countries compare us to the American batshit crazy mass open panels. My voice relaxes you. Oh, that's nice. I think I sound really whiny, so thank you. When I did breakfast radio, if I went into like a shop that was playing the station that I worked for, and they did like a breakfast show promotion using grabs of us from the morning show or things that we'd done in the last week or whatever, I used to cringe and run out of the shop because I think I've got a really whiny voice. But thank you. I'll take that compliment. I'm learning to take compliments. I have to tell you guys, though, jumping around on YouTube now, I look at channels and creators and what they're doing so differently. Like, I can work out what their motives are and their strategies, and it's all about numbers and a lot of them and money. And look, if people are making a decent wage on YouTube, more power to them. But I used to, like say a true crime creator, something had dropped down, I'd be like, oh, I don't know that case. I'll have a little listen, and I just listen to them talking about it. But now I look at who they're talking about and I'm like, oh, that's interesting because that's quite a topical true crime case at the moment, and other channels are getting good numbers, and or people will all be taking one side and someone decides to jump up and take the other side, and yeah, there's some pretty impressive emotional manipulation going on around YouTube. Pardon me, I need to have a swig of me water, but I'll do it now when I get around this little roundabout. Oh my God, is that Mojo Juniper? How are you? You've had more name changes than anyone else I know on YouTube, I reckon. I'm not knocking it. I've had quite a few myself, but I quickly glance at your comment, but I can't read lowercase when I'm driving, and I obviously focus on the road too. But it sounds like you ended up in hospital, and you're okay. You're lucky. I'm pleased to see that, but yeah, I didn't see the how or why. Don't forget, guys, to if you put comments to me in caps, um, and keep them pretty short, I've got a better chance of reading them. I'm not being rude and ignoring you, but I'm about to be doing 110 kilometres an hour on a freeway, and my safety is my priority and the safety of other road users. So, but if and when I can glance down, I've got a much better chance of reading it if it's in capitals. But I'm glad to hear you're okay, whatever happened to you, Mojo. But yeah, I've started to watch channels that sometimes I think I should do it too, like just sort of do more observational commentary about what goes on YouTube, because I am fascinated by the psychology of it. So I'm sort of listening to more channels like there's so many things I'm learning, and I'm like, oh my God, that's just been the most obvious thing right in front of my face, and I've missed it. Like, listening to somebody else analysing or doing a commentary on a creator, and it's not making me cynical about the more about the creators they're talking about necessarily. I mean, a lot of those commentators, like the clip channels, do have biases. Um, but it just means if I go back to channels, any channel, not just the ones that person talked about, I'm just watching them now with a different, like from a different perspective, and I'm finding it really entertaining, especially when I crack it and work out what they're doing and why. And some of it is just so bleedingly obvious that I can't believe in the past that I haven't noticed it. And now I'm like, oh my God. I'm loving it because it's a way more analytical approach to watching things on YouTube. Um, who's live now? Who's live now? He. Who's the he? So yeah, I've kind of found a new angle or a new bent on how I look at YouTube, and some of the notifications and recommendations this morning, I didn't even have to watch them. I was just like, I know why you're doing that. Hope it works out for you. Like, I honestly think if people make money on YouTube, more power to them, If you can find a way to have a passive income in this day and age, and you can do that by just turning on a microphone and talking shit for 6 hours on YouTube, more power to you, really. But what am I cooking next? Oh, well, I'm going away for a week on Saturday, so I'm kind of clearing out my fridge, but I might do a Japanese flash fried rice with an egg. But I will be uploading another cooking video in the next day or so, and that might have to do till maybe one night next week from my hotel room in Adelaide. I'll cook something. I'll go to the market and grab some stuff and whip up a dish. I'll take one of my books with me, or at least a recipe with me, and because I quite like cooking from kitchens in hotels and stuff. It's they have limited appliances and stuff. It's sort of a necessity is the mother of invention kind of cooking, which I find quite fun. Yeah, observing patterns is. Oh, Vinny's live. Cool. I do feel for some creators though when people in chat go, so and so's live right now and everyone leaves them. I'm like, you poor thing. They're doing a live about something, they're all getting all passionate about it, and then somebody lets everyone in chat know someone else is live and they do a mass exodus. I really feel for those creators. And look, it doesn't bother me all for people popping in saying good day and moving on. I don't expect people to hang out with me for like, well, God said this drive home, it's only been 35 minutes. Um, but yeah, I don't expect people to hang out with me. I don't, hey, Grandma Ducky, g'day. Um, so yeah, there will be a salmon, egg and dill pie video going up in the next day or so. And oh my God, it was amazing. But I do recommend nobody tries to do it on a weeknight. It takes a little bit of prep and like it's a lovely thing to do on a weekend if you're having people over for lunch or dinner, and it's absolutely delicious. And I did like this little caper butter that you pour over the top. Oh my God, it was so good. No, I don't mind sticks. It's fine. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry, mate. I don't mind. I don't really, I don't know Vinny G from a bar of soap. He's never really been my, well, when I first came to YouTube, he used to just be like a lot of music, and I love me some music. And he played a lot of that sort of Ministry of Sound dance music from the early 2000s. It brings back so many memories for me. And so I used to have him sort of playing in the background, but then he started talking a lot, and he seemed to be right into the drama, or, you know, had people that he was, I don't know whether he was exposing them for doing dodgy shit or whether he just didn't like them, I don't know. And then he got this little drum beat machine thing that he plays along, and it bugs me. Like, I've only probably been to his channel once in the last 6 months, and he had some tune on, but he was playing like a little synthesizer drum pad thing along with it, and it was like a millisecond behind the music. It was probably on time for him, but yeah, no. I prefer to just go to the Ministry of Sound channel and listen to that shit over there. But yeah, I don't really know much about him at all. I think a lot of people, I was going to say a lot of people watched him, but I reckon when I went in there, there were like 4 people. But he seems to go live at weird times too. Like I've seen him playing beats at 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm getting out of bed. He pops up on the list. You know, it's like shit. I ain't got time for disco at 6 a.m. Not with that little synthesizer pad or whatever it is that he taps along. But horses for courses, you know. If you dig him, good on you. So many YouTubers, not, I don't know about him because I haven't observed him enough to know, but so many YouTubers have changed so much since I first started watching them in 2018. It blows my mind. I might play back, and I don't like listening to my voice, but I think I should play back one of my earliest YouTube videos and see if I think I've changed too. I don't think I've changed for the worst, but fuck, a heap of them have. It looks like a makeup palette. Oh, the little tappy tapped. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you're going to play music that's kind of already perfect in its own right, why fuck with it by adding your own beats, you know? I don't like people messing with music that's bloody good in its own right already. It's not like it makes it better. It's like giving a kid a tambourine. They just beat the shit out of it. They don't subtly use it when it's appropriate. Or a triangle, you know. There's so many songs where a triangle, there's literally one little triangle, ding, and that little solitary ding is perfection. But you give someone a triangle and that bang, bang, bang the whole way through, Aussie as fuck, g'day. Hi to anyone who's cruised in that I haven't said hello to. I've had a really clear drive home. I haven't been in traffic once. Even in town, it was free flowing. So I'm sorry if I've missed any. But yeah, the time I dropped in there, that's what it reminded me of. The little, giving a kid, or not even a kid, you give an adult a tambourine and they belt the shit out of it too. Those percussion instruments are subtle. Hello, Teresa Problem. Your little train jingle was brilliant. Oh yeah, the little chit chit when I started uploading the Soft 34 onto my Smooth Criminal podcast channel. I'm still doing the Soft 6 at the moment, but that little jingle's going to get stuck in people's heads again. Brr, it's cold. It's only 6 degrees. I'm very excited. I'm nearly home. I'm going to whack the heating on, feed my floof. Sonny will want me to chase her around the house. I'll keep my warm clothes on until the house warms up. Yeah, one of my few musical talents is I'm actually a trained percussionist. So I can play all the percussion instruments, but the key for all of them is less is more. There's a few bandicoots around. Did you just see that little bandicoot? There were two. I didn't hit either of them. Thank God. Did you see the little bandicoots running across the road? The little fatty boombas? Our bandicoots are chubby as. I look at pictures of them online, Australian bandicoots, and they're so slim. But the Tasmanian ones are little chubsters. They've dug hundreds of holes on my block. I've got bandicoot holes everywhere. The guy who mows my lawns, he's like, I'm going to break my ankle in a bandicoot hole one day. I'm like, oh, well, Dave, keep your eyes open, mate, because they're busy on my block. They do a lot of digging. I'm nearly home, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry I haven't been able to engage with chat much, but I'm glad we covered the soundboard percussion pad drum kit thing that I seriously saw him using it once and I was like, you've just murdered one of my favourite songs. And I never went back. But little Miss Sunny Pants will be happy to see me. Well, you're going to be reversing down the driveway with me. Victoria drum set. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out. I hope you all have a lovely morning, if it's morning where you are, or a lovely evening. Stay warm if you're in Taswegia because it's a brewer night tonight. Bit close. I'm going to straighten it up. Dinner time in Brizzy. Yeah, it's dinner time here too. I've just got to put the salmon pie on and cook some beans, and dinner will be served. My brother's got a drum kit. If I ever feel like beating out a few beats, I just go to his place, although I can't at the moment. Imagine seeing Mel pop out in the road. Oh. Oh, yes, I play the recorder like a pro. Grievers, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to get inside and get warm and feed my little floof. But have a lovely evening. Thank you to everyone that popped in. Sorry I didn't get to read all of the chat, but I really appreciate you hanging out with me. And yes, I'm home, Francesca. Enjoy your dinner, Australians, because it is dinner time. Unless you're in Western Australia and you have dinner really early. Maybe it's afternoon tea time for you. But stay groovy, everyone. I'll come back on live sometime soon. But thanks for hanging out. Until next time, be nice to each other.